What's happening, y'all? JR Raymond here, coming to you from my hotel room, getting ready for the World Series of Bowling. Coming up tomorrow, we got the qualifier for that. But first, I want to address some comments, concerns, questions, all that stuff that's been kind of roaming around the YouTube pages over the last few days. Some people making comments about certain things, physical aspects and stuff, and I want to make sure people understand. Um, the reason why I respond to these things. And it's not because I want to be right and I want you to be wrong. It's because I want people to make good judgments on what they want to do with their game instead of just thinking something is right or something is wrong. Bowling is one of those sports where it's not really black and white. There's a lot of things that a lot of people do that you could look at and say, holy cow, that's not right. Look at Walter Ray, all of his career, nothing he does I would ever teach anybody, or nor would any good coach really teach what Walter Ray does. But he's made it work, and he's won many, many titles, more than anybody on the planet. So to say that you have to do things in a specific way is just wrong. And there's a few things that I want to address. I want to address the balance issue. I want to address the trail leg issue. And then we'll even talk possibly a little bit about where your hand faces in the top of the swing. Somebody had made a comment about that. So I'm going to look at these things, and we'll look at other bowlers, and we'll kind of run through this here in a minute. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. So let's first take a look. We're going to talk about that trail leg. The first thing is we're going to look at the trail leg is one of those things that a lot of people get confused with because they always think that you have to keep it down, or a lot of old school coaches teach that you have to keep your trail leg on the ground in order to have balance and blah 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 blah. And that's just not the case with today's power game. The way the game works today, pretty much there's very few people on tour that actually keep their trail leg on the ground. Most people, what they're doing is they actually kick it up and then they try to force it back down on the ground. I mean, the only person I know that might keep it down the entire way, there's two of them, and that would be Sean Rash or maybe Frankie Lavoie. Might be the two. We'll look at it. We'll check here for sure in a little bit. But here we'll start with the TOC winner, Triple Crown winner, Dom Barrett. And as you see, when he comes through, where's his leg go? Off the ground and up. And that's just a natural thing when you're trying to create power. So watch through the entire approach all the way through. And this kind of addresses the other issue that somebody had talked about, who opens their hand up at the top. Dom Barrett is another one of those guys that opens the hand and gets their palm facing the outside. Maybe not as extreme as what I do or somebody like a Tommy Jones does, another example, but they do. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. Trail leg up, off the ground. Okay, so let's look at somebody else. Somebody had mentioned Kyle Sherman. We can just pretty much pull up anything here, and I'm sure we can find Kyle. He's got YouTube on lockdown with the Brad and Kyle show. So slow motion release, Kyle. Let's see how he does with keeping it down on the ground as well. He might. I haven't even looked at him. I don't think he does. I think he goes up and quick, up quick, and then back down. Oh yeah, most definitely. Let's see if we can find this here and up. Oh, look at that. Look how high that goes. There he tried to keep it down, but it goes up and he pushes it back down. Same type of thing. So the trail leg definitely, up, way up. Trail leg definitely is something that helps you with balance. So a good thing to do is to, if you're struggling with balance and you want to keep your balance better, a good drill is to just try to keep your trail leg as low as possible. That will keep your body more upright. It'll let you get your knees a little bit lower, and it can get you back into position until you get comfortable again. And then as you naturally get comfortable, you'll start to kick it back up just a little bit. So let's, just because we're doing this, just because everybody seems to, for some reason, have the 80s stuck in their head. back like how it used to be, how it should have been. I really don't understand why. Let's just look at more bowlers. Let's look at Bill O'Neill here. See if I can even see his feet. Yeah. Oh, whoa! Look how high Bill went. Holy cow! One of the best all-around physical game, most versatile bowlers you'll ever see. Bill. Holy cow! Look at that. Look at that trail leg. He's up past his butt. I mean, who's another one that does that? Ronnie Russell. Well, let's see what Ronnie does. Watched him bowl 300 on TV against me. Not that I was even a. Yeah, we'll even go back to that show. There we go. Not that I was even a factor there. Hey, look, that's me. Yeah, we don't want to watch me throw it on TV. I'm no good. Remember, we get a lot of people talking about that. All right, here you go. Let's see where Ronnie's trail leg goes. Whoa! Look at that thing way up over his butt. Now I know I sound condescending here because I am being condescending because it's really annoying, and you get a lot of people that come in and talk about these things. And I do. Let's be real. Honestly, I do appreciate people trying to help. I do appreciate y'all looking out for me and trying to get me over the hump of the slump, which you did with the swing. The swing definitely, that definitely has a problem. And this was back when my swing was really an issue. You can really see it here. Let me see if you guys can tell the difference in my swing from here to now. It's changed a lot. A lot. Like that loop was pretty bad. See, it's like it goes up to the left, back to the right, and then I try to loop it back down around, and it never really gets there. But I still made shows. It was the next year after this was my streak. It was like 5 or 6 events in a row where I just kept missing shows by just a little bit. But I was bowling pretty good, so that just goes to show that, yeah, everybody's going to have little flaws. Everybody's going to have issues with things. I fixed my issues with that, or at least got them better. It's not anywhere close. See, the balance still an issue. Always has been an issue with the spare game, but I don't miss spares, so I don't really worry about it. But that's the next thing. Who else can we look at? We look at Bill O'Neill. Let's look at Tommy Jones. Does a good job keeping his trail leg down, doesn't he? I'm pretty sure he does. I think he really tries to. Having trouble carrying corner pins? Yes, I am. Can you help me? We're here to help. Sorry, this is just going to be a rambling video here just to kind of talk about things that I want to address. Let's get back through here. Let's see, what's Tommy do? Does he keep it all the way down? I might not be able to see his feet. Goes up and then down. Can't really see it there, but he definitely does. Oh, there we go. Here, you should. Does he keep it all the way down here? He does a much better job than most. He stays down, but it still goes up a little bit. Let's see, what's he do here? Yeah, he keeps it down pretty good. So Tommy's one of the rules they accept, or exception to the rules. I'll say Tommy does a good job keeping it down. Let's look at one more. EJ. EJ does a good job keeping it down, doesn't he? Pretty sure he does. No, I think he kicks it up and then back down. Look at his release slow motion. See if we can see his legs. Just because we can't. Come on, internet. Come on, get back there. Oh yeah, he's definitely up. Up off the ground. So yeah, just another example. Everybody kicks it up. Prather, last one will be Prather. See what Prather's got. He's another one that keeps it down on the ground, right? Pretty good. Oh, let's look right here. Yep, he does a pretty good job keeping it down. So you can see there's a mix. The majority of bowlers kick it up in the air. Others keep it down. So there's not a right or wrong way to do it. I think some people focus on one thing versus another. So it just depends on what you want to do when it comes to that. So I wouldn't say that, you're wrong for saying to keep it down, but it's also just more dependent on the type of person, the person that wants to keep their weight on the left side more and have their shoulder not as dropped, or maybe wants to extend through it just a little bit better, those people are going to, keep their trail leg down. So it really depends. And also it depends on how you play the lanes or how you're trying to play the lanes. So I wouldn't be too concerned with that. So now we want to talk about balance. Let's talk about the balance. I'm going to go into, let's see if I can't share a video here. I don't know if I can pull it up. Here, we'll just go. Where could I go? Oh, let's just go to my channel. I could probably just click my channel. But let's go to that live stream that I just did. If it's here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'll just go to my channel. It'll probably be easier. Shush. Videos there. Here's the live stream practice. Here we go. So let's take a look and see what these issues actually are.
Pearl's pretty good.
And well, it's pretty low trail leg there. It's not flailing up. Dang it. Now it's got to go to an ad. Son of a gun. Sorry, guys. Gals. Play.
If you want to make your business stand out, let's launch it with your ads. Watch me make you look like a pro. Okay, we'll start with the.
All right, back to it. All right, let's back and go watch that shot again. Let's see what happens here. Trail leg. You can see it's pretty down there. It does kick up, but it's pretty low. Doesn't even get close to what Bill's was or Ronnie's. Stays down pretty good. And look at that balance. Woo! But I think this is actually the one where I said stick that in your balance pipe and smoke it. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I had a guy that recognized me come up and said hi. That was pretty cool. All right, let's see what this one looks like. See where we're at. And then we'll talk about the arm. Balance pretty good. But then again, to be fair, this was a practice where I was telling everybody to kind of hush about the balance thing. And I said I would keep my balance a little longer just because I didn't want to hear people talk about it anymore. But let's go back. Let's look at the 5 shots with the gem. Now this one, I know I stepped off most of my shots on this one. So let's take a look and see. But let's see where the ball is before I finally move. Oh, shoot, that one I actually walked to the left. Dang, balance. It's too good. Keep it going. I like the music to this video, by the way. It's pretty sweet. Fast forward, get to the next shot. Let's see where the balance is. And this was with the bad swing that we recognized. Oh, dang it. Come on, you going to step off, or what are you going to do here? Nope, apparently I'm not going to step off at all. I'm just going to dead pure every shot. I thought I stepped off on most of these. I know there's one where I stepped off, and then I'm like, oh crap, I got to get out of the way. And then I jump to the left. I think it might be this one. Yep. But where was the ball by the time I finally stepped off? Way past the arrows? Okay. Now, balance issue would be if I'm falling off right here and my right leg is already to the right and I'm falling off, that's a balance issue. But the ball is well past the arrows before I finally step off. Now, I will say, probably was a little off balance there, but it was off balance later when it really doesn't matter. So, I know a lot of old school people are going to say, well, you should be keeping your balance until it hits the pins and stuff. And it's like, you guys you need to pay attention to all of the bowlers. I know you think that's just the way it is. The books say this is how it is. And the reason I get frustrated with it is because I keep hearing the same things over and over again. It's not an issue. Now you watch me shoot spares. yeah, I'm falling off every single time. I'm almost fouling on a lot of them because all I'm doing is just lining my shoulder up. I'm just walking fast and chucking it in the right direction. Um, Not caring about timing or anything like that, not caring about balance. I just want to make sure I'm getting it going towards my target. And like I've always said, I will take my spare game on most days over anybody in the world. So you call that cocky, call it what you want, but I have data to back it up. I just flat out usually don't miss spares, except for like this week where for some reason I missed 4 of them, just flat out unfocused. That's all it is a lack of focus there. Obviously not mentally good there. Been reading a little bit the last couple of days though, and practicing and stuff. So, but talking about um, that swing, that's where the correction comes in. So I want to let's look at Tommy Jones again. I want to see what his swing actually does when he opens up. You got some bowlers that open up. Somebody was talking about your hand has to stay directly down in the swing. And I'm not really sure why they feel that way. They feel like you can't. And I feel the opposite way of what they feel. I feel like you should open up a little bit. Let's see what Tommy does here. I know Tommy opens. Because the idea is to keep your hand to the inside. So you can see he opens up. Oh, we can't see it. Come on, man. I know they're trying to just get his release in this video. This might be able to show it. So you can see he pushes the thumb to the right. It goes straight back. And the hand opens. Look how wide he opens up. And then he stays there. He closes a little bit, but not much. And that's the whole idea behind that, is to keep the swing, or to keep the hand to the inside part of the ball. So let me see if I can change this view here so you guys aren't. All right, let me remove that. All right, let me try to demonstrate here. So what we're looking for, and the reason why, so this is to answer, I don't know who it was. Somebody had made a comment about my swing and how mine opens up too much. So which way? Yeah, we'll go this way. So when I open up, it's going to open up to you. So it's getting a swing here. So it's going, I don't know, I can't get a good angle here. I got not enough room in a hotel room. But let's see here. So when we get going, the swing goes up this way. And for some reason, they feel like the swing should always stay here. Now, what happens is if everything stays this way, that's as high as you can go if your hand stays directly down. The reason people actually open their palm up is for 2 reasons. A, to keep to the inside part of the ball, and B, to allow a freer swing and allow your shoulder to go higher. Because if you keep everything locked in, hand straight down, you can't go higher. Once you open the shoulder up in the hand, now your arm can go higher into that spot. Also, it keeps your hand to the inside. So when you drop back down, you're going to recorrect, you're going to come back down, but your hand is staying to the inside. And if I lower this, then your hand is to the inside. And then when you get to the bottom of the swing, it's here, and then you rotate through. Okay, so what I was doing was I was getting here, and I was going behind my body, up and down, and then I was recorrecting this way and collapsing down too early here. So now when I get the swing going, and I get it going more this way and straighter, and then I open up, now I can let it fall back down in that spot inside and rotate through. So it's the same thing. People are going here, open, down, collapsing down on this way down, and then rotating through. And it's all about being on the inside part of the ball. It has nothing to do with a good position, a better position. These guys, I bet you if we go back and we watch, they open up to get there and then they collapse it back down, and it's so slight you might not even see it. But let's go back and look at it again. Prather was the example. I've never actually paid much attention to what he does too much. I just know I feel like he's got the best physical game on the planet. So using Chris as an example is A-okay with me because he is that good. I do like Chris's game. Even he struggles from time to time. But I do. I love how effortless he looks. I love the way he is just smooth and just gets everything into the lane. I do like what he does. So let's start here and let's take a look at what Chris does in the swing. I want to see where his arm goes. This was actually this year. So he's bowling for the title here against Dom. And I want to see if we can see what his swing does. I know he stays. Yeah, so his never gets above shoulder length. So he keeps everything in that spot. So that's the example I was talking about. So again, with him, it's going to be remove. So with him, it's going to be never above shoulder length. So it's going to be here. He stays everything directly below because he can't go any higher than that with his hand staying directly under it. So then from here, he has to then transition underneath to get his hand up underneath. So he has to get to the inside this way, and it's a tuck. That's where the tuck comes in. So it's here, tuck underneath. When we, guys like Tommy, me, Dom, Bill, these guys, they go up, it goes down. And no, I'm not comparing myself to those guys. Stop. Don't even start. I don't want to hear it. What is it? Joyful. What's his name there? I don't even know. Joyful something, being a complete douche. But when we go up and we open, it's because we're here and then we can just fall right into it in that spot. We don't go back and then have to tuck in. We're already tucked at going up into the swing. So that's kind of something to pay attention to. Let's go back and let's look at now. Let's go back and look at EJ. Let's see what EJ does. This swing gets fairly high, right? All right, let me see here. Let's just see.
There's never been no This show two for him.
You might not be able to see it here. I don't know. Yeah, his is so quick. He does it so fast, you can barely see it. And he opens it up and then closes it right back down. He's another one that just barely gets above his shoulder level. Go back to Dom. Dom opens up pretty good. We already know. Tommy Jones opens up quite a bit. See, same thing. The only way he gets that high is to open that shoulder joint up just a little bit. Wait till this next spot. See how he's got that hand open? It's not like his face in the ceiling, but it's got to go. He's got to open the shoulder joint and get the palm somewhat facing towards us in order to get that ball to go that high. And then he shuts it back down to get back underneath. Tucks the elbow straight through, and then he's playing straight there. So that's not even a good example of it because he's playing so straight. Should be. Let's see if we can. I'm trying to find the right spot here. This one will show it. This will be a good one to show. See there? Open, and he again. Now this is where this is where the confusion came in with the loop in my swing, because this is another example here, getting it going behind the body. But you got to remember the target he's playing. That's why it gets going behind the body a little bit there, because that when it drops into the swing, closes down towards the direction over there. So that's where it was confusing, where if you watch mine is a redirection. Mine is here collapsing too early, which then shifts it back to the right. And then I got to collapse it back underneath and try to get it underneath. And it's a nightmare trying to get that to happen. That's where a lot of my issues was coming from. And it can attribute to a lot of my early hooks. So I know I'm rambling. I'm just trying to touch on a different few things here. And those of you who are sticking around to watch this, hopefully you're learning something from this as well. So you guys can see what these guys do really, really well, and why I tell you, look, these aren't the ways. This isn't what you have to do. You don't have to do it the way the book said in the 80s. That's not how it works. You don't drop your shoulder anymore. You don't walk to the right anymore. You don't stay square to the line. You don't do all those types of things. Your trail leg doesn't have to stay down. It's just all that stuff. Your swing doesn't have to be straight front to back, unless you're playing straight up the lane. Your swing can go behind you because you're playing further left or right, because your swing plane has to be in line with the target you're trying to play. It's all these things that come into play. So when I am talking about, all of these things and saying, no, that's not what it is, and you argue with me, that's why it's frustrating, because a lot of these guys do the same thing. So you start to use these examples like Chris Prather and Dom and whoever else, and I can show you, look, they do the same thing when you move left. When they do, you're looking at video from straight up and down rather than when they're like this. If the camera was facing straight, you would notice that the ball is actually to the left of his head, just slightly, not a ton. And then he drops it in. Oh, they got it going backwards. That's kind of cool. But he gets the hand open to get the shoulder higher. Same thing. Now let's see and compare. Why is my internet so slow? My internet is awful. It's actually really kind of any day now. Come on. And it's trapped. It's frozen. Retry. There we go. That's what we want. All right. Now we'll go back to this, and I just want to watch and pay attention. You freaking ads, man. Who puts all these ads in here? Sorry, y'all. I know it's kind of tedious here. That's what happens when I'm kind of doing this live and just recording it at the same time. So if we watch the swing, I don't remember. This might even be before I picked. No, I was working on it the whole time. And I'm recounting. I'm making sure I'm lined up properly, using the rule of 7, all that stuff. Let's see where we go. Here's the swing. Open, same thing. And I might be a little bit more open than most. You can see that redirection, so I didn't quite have it fixed at this point yet. But still okay. It's still dropping in. Straight through. Let's go watch a later video or a later shot as I worked on it more. Okay. Same thing. Or was that a bad balance one there? Is that what would consider bad balance? Did I step off that one? Let's find out. And where's the ball when I do? Oh no, it was good balance still. So I made sure to wait till I stepped off. Anyway, so you can see that. That's pretty good view. You can see what's going on there. Pretty obvious that, I think I've made my point fairly easily clear there. But that's all I got. I just want to make sure to run through those few things. It's about, at the top of the swing, it's about being able to drop to the inside and getting the shoulder higher for those who have a higher backswing. If you want a lower backswing like Prather, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means then you have to tuck inside and you have a shorter window in order to tuck inside. Everybody's different. If you want to keep your trail leg down, keep your trail leg down if you feel like that will help your balance. If you want to kick your trail leg up and and it's going to help you with power, create a little bit more down at the bottom, then keep your trail leg up. As long as it's not making you fall off immediately, you'll be fine. So it's just some of these things that people are talking about that we need to address and make sure everybody knows that the 80s rule books, even the 90s rule books, the 2000s rule books, they're just not in play anymore. Those things just don't matter. There's some key things like getting to the bottom of the swing, your hand in a proper position is, a lot more important. Some of the stuff is still similar to back in the day, but the majority of the game has actually changed quite a bit. So don't get tricked and fooled by reading some of those old books. Like I said, I wish I could just burn most of those old books because they hurt people nowadays than they do help, So, and the majority of the people that come on and start talking about this stuff, I'm guessing are probably older generation folk. The one guy was talking about the wrist braces and how it's destroying the game if they get rid of the wrist braces, which what? Like nobody uses them now. Anybody who creates any type of power can't use them, so it's just an integrity thing. It's just, it's just to make sure everybody's on the same page. That's all. So I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, I'm out of here. We will see you guys a little bit later. I'm sure I'll make another video at some point today. So we'll see you guys later.
They say bowling is a dying sport.
A dying sport.
I disagree. I disagree.
I disagree.
I disagree.
I disagree.
BowlerX.com for the love of bowling.